This is Mudfest 2022, probably the best SUV pickup comparison in the United States. It's pretty cool. A glance at all the vehicles in your neighborhood proves crossovers, SUVs, and pickups dominate these days. Long before they were fashionable, automotive writers in the Pacific Northwest held Mudfest, an annual competition to find the best of the bunch. It's held at the Ridge Motorsports Park in Shelton, Washington. This is the 27th Mudfest, so it's a well-oiled machine. It's not put on by the manufacturers. It's an independent event put on by the Northwest Automotive Press Association. And one thing you really need to know, if you don't see your favorite vehicle here, it's because the manufacturer decided not to bring it. This year, there are 23 automotive journalists, and these two that'll be tiebreakers to size up 20 vehicles. Now, obviously, a Subaru Forester Wilderness doesn't compete with a Rolls Royce. Yes, there's a Cullinan here in orange. It's not orange, it's what?
Saint-Tropez.
Saint-Tropez. So there are categories like compact family, full-sized family, a couple luxury segments, and pickups. These all compete in their own category, plus there's an overall winner.
All right, you're good to go. Have fun.
Mudfest is a two-day event. Day one is all about on-road performance because even the most capable SUVs are driven on pavement most of the time. I will say this about the new Tundra, it handles so much better than the outgoing model. Much, much more drivable. The Ridge has a huge area for us to mark out a proper course. We do acceleration tests. One thing about the Raptor, it definitely wins in the sound department. Pretty good in the braking department, too. We do slalom. And you may never do slaloming in your SUV, but we do, so we can find out how it works in an emergency situation. We evaluate body movements and dynamics, tire noise and grip, and of course, handling. Yeah, Mazda has not lost its chops. This is very accurate steering, very precise. There's some road feel coming up through the wheel. Nice. The Ridge Motorsports Park has a terrific go-kart track that we use to evaluate cornering dynamics. It's a scale replica of the large track, right down to elevation changes. The Acura MDX Type S is definitely the sports car of the family haulers here. 3 rows of seating, and it's got super handling all-wheel drive, true torque vectoring. Day 2 is all about off-road prowess, and there are 2 sections. An easier course that all the vehicles go through, and a tougher section that's just for the machines that are in the extreme capability category. This is not intended to replicate the Rubicon Trail, but it's tough enough so that we can figure out what the vehicle is capable of.
So we've got the air suspension all the way up, so this breakover is not going to be a problem. For as large of a vehicle as this is, it really does have really good approach, departure, and breakover angles.
That is kind of surprising. Remember, each one of these rigs will have navigated the course some 23 times, and I can tell you that not one of them experienced any real damage. It says a lot about capability. Somehow, people perceive the Honda Passport as a SUV that's really more of a soft-roader. Not sure how that ever came about. Yeah, it is unibody, but then again, so are Land Rovers. Just saying. There are manufacturer reps on hand since many of these vehicles are very deep. This has air suspension. It's the only MDX with air suspension?
Yes. So if you want to get the air suspension on your MDX, you got to upgrade to the Type S variant, which adds a lot of performance features, that being one of them.
For the first time since anyone can remember, Mudfest actually has mud, and that adds to the off-road challenge. Also, it's not just driving dynamics we're looking at.
We did bake in a lot of the dynamic driving capabilities from our G70 Sport sedan. It's actually on the same platform.
We're also scoring on things like interior quality, how usable a vehicle is, and any unique features they might have. The Lexus LX600 was just as popular standing still as it was out on the courses. Getting a massage, gentlemen?
Yes, we are. Getting the Lexus, taking a little nap here in the Lexus here.
Just so you know, each of the riders are required to drive every single one of the vehicles. That's important because there are a lot of surprises. It happens every Mudfest. For instance, in the pickup segment last year, the compact Hyundai Santa Cruz beat out the Ram 1500 TRX because of all of its clever features. The Genesis GV70 took the mid-size luxury crown plus the overall title of Northwest Outdoor Activity of the Year, partly because it was much better off-road than anyone would have guessed. Some highlights when it comes to the day one on-road assessments. I'm actually surprised at how well this handles. This is a Jeep Grand Cherokee, a Trailhawk, and it corners really well. Remember when SUVs handled like logging trucks? Things have come a long way. The Genesis GV80, nice rig. Problem is, there are a lot of nice rigs in this competition. This is tough. Electronic stability controls and computers do amazing things these days. Really, there's nothing, and I do mean nothing, more perverse than driving a Raptor on a go-kart course. Bit of understeer there. On day two, typical Pacific Northwest weather starts to roll in, which makes things muddier.
There you go. Keep your foot in it. See how it goes. Keep digging. Keep digging.
A lot of the manufacturer's data says that when owners talk about going off-roading, it's more like this, a dirt road. So the off-road course starts with this. All of the rigs here will take on some amount of standing water. Just remember that water running across a roadway can easily sweep a car off the road. Be careful.
We'll put the forward-facing camera on.
The cameras are amazing. They're so helpful.
It's kind of like, how did we survive without them?
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. The camouflaged Rolls Royce Cullinan, blending in with the cones that is, has no problems. None. So if you want to hate on it for being luxurious and $429,000, go right ahead. But it's exceptionally capable. The question is, will the price tag of this vehicle put it out of contention? It's expensive. You could buy 3 Lexus LX600s at $128,000 and a Jeep Wrangler for the cost of the Cullinan, if you're into luxury and volume. Toyota no longer has the Land Cruiser now, right? In the United States,
Correct, yeah.
This is exclusive to Lexus.
Correct.
And considering the price point, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And remember, you don't need an SUV to tackle tougher terrain. Volvo brought the V90 cross-country wagon. The lower profile has advantages.
This will cover most of what nearly any SUV can cover. Let's put it in off-road mode real quick.
Okay.
More than 8 inches of ground clearance in this car, but the roof is still quite low.
Which makes it really easy for
you can-
loading gear,
Yep.
bikes, kayaks,
Absolutely.
and all that. That's one
Yeah.
of the things that I've always said about wagons. Was really hoping to see a couple pure EVs this year, but that didn't happen. Jeep and Kia have entered plug-in hybrids. The Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk 4xe has no issues on the extreme course. Instant torque, it's really good to have when you're off-roading. And the 3-row Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid saunters through anything its owners would push it onto. The great thing about electrifying an SUV is you don't hear anything. Maybe birds and a little bit of tire crunching, but no engine sound. It makes it a lot more serene. you'll hear some warning tones too. Yes, the Mazda CX-30 was the track star of the bunch. Darned if it didn't scamper all over the off-road course as well.
And then so when you start coming up here, you can actually stop a little bit and then kind of re-get going again, and I'll show you how that off-road mode, you really, no wheel spin.
No, kind of surprising.
Especially in this, now that this rain is coming down too.
Yeah. Let's not forget that tires are really important when conditions get difficult. The Acura MDX Type S, with its Brembo brakes, might be geared towards fun on dry roads, but even with rubber geared towards performance, it has some chops in the dirt. This is getting slippery.
The sideways one, yeah. I was curious to know how it was going to go once we got more rain.
Yeah. Actually, the tires are handling it pretty well, and I'm guessing these are more performance tires. Mm-hmm. Huh. Mercedes brought a performance-oriented AMG GLB 35. It might be more fun on the go-kart track, but if you find yourself on a Forest Service road with one, you'll be okay. Chatter during lunch gives the impression that voting could go any which way. The competition is exceptionally close this year. One of the things we've all talked about during this competition is how good all of the vehicles are these days. All of them have at least some off-road chops. Some of them are really great on-road. So, you know, it just depends on what you need. In the end, we didn't have to recruit the Eagles for tiebreaker duty. This Mudfest is in the books. The rain is starting to come in. A good time to check out the winners. In the compact segment, the nod goes to the all-new 2023 Mazda CX-50. Mid and full-size family, that prize is awarded to the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk 4xe. The Genesis GV70 is a repeat winner from last year in the compact and mid-size luxury segment. And Genesis does it again in the full-size luxury category with Big Brother GV80. Another repeat winner, the trophy in the pickup segment, is awarded to the Hyundai Santa Cruz Limited. When it comes to electrified, the award goes to the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk 4xe. The prize for extreme capability goes to the Ford F-150 Raptor, with a tie when it comes to runner-up. This was a close one. And the overall winner, the vehicle we believe has the best combination of capability, comfort, features, and value, is triple trophy recipient Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk 4xe. Again, it's not ever about one thing when choosing an SUV or pickup. It's always about the total package and how well a vehicle delivers when it comes to its intended mission. That's how we all feel about this year's candidates, but only you can tell if a vehicle is right for you. So take our winners as a strong suggestion, then get out there and test drive. And know that these machines can do stuff like this, even if the dealerships won't let you shake it down this way. Special thanks to the Northwest Automotive Press Association members for putting this event on. It takes a lot of work, and I do mean a lot. Plus, the Ridge Motorsports Park in Shelton, they did a fantastic job hosting us and modifying the off-road sections. Kudos to the team. This video is something a bit different. If you're new here, check out my regular car reviews, and if you like what you see, subscribe, since every Tuesday I post a review and do my best to keep it succinct, to not waste your time. And if you're buying a new car, truck, or SUV, I'll point out that I have a quote service that helps you get information quickly, and there's free invoice pricing. It's at quotes.driven.ws. Use my service or cars.com or any other company, I don't care. It's tough to buy a vehicle these days with the chip shortage and all. You need every advantage possible. And I highly suggest checking out as many vehicles as you can so you end up with the vehicle that's right for you. All right, I'm out of here. That's Driven. I'm Tom Voelk.